and then we have our stop loss right here, simply because we have multiple rejections at this point, and I may want to increase it slightly, just in case, liquidity seeking. Let's see, triggered straight to profit. Right here will be our TP1, and we set to break even. uh let's go. Let's go. TP1 eats right there. We are break even now. Hold on, let me pause this just so we can count how many pips that was. That was literally 80 pips. Easy, easy, guys. 80 pips right there. So let's see if it's going to take our break even or just proceed to our TP3. I mean TP2. Boom. Final target hits right there on the daily level, right? So we have a straight 1 to 3 hour trade for 139 pips, approximately 140 pips reward on this particular trade. Now I started speaking. I had no intention of speaking for this, so I just wanted to back test, keep mute and play background music. But I mean, I needed to explain this particular trade, seeing that the conditions were not as clear as it typically should be. And then, I mean, if you're here learning, it means you need this information I just gave, and my thought process during market conditions like this. A bit of, you could have picked psychology trading tips there. I don't know. If you didn't, well, maybe rewatch. So what day is it? This is still Tuesday. So I still have Wednesday to trade. Normally by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I've achieved my weekly target. So I do not often trade on Thursdays and Fridays, except there's a major economic event, which I trade quite well. But that's not the point of this particular course, is it? So once it's after Wednesday, I'm just going to call it the end of a trading week. So far we have had like the first trade right here, from here to here, the first win, and then the other one, no loss no gain. Our order wasn't triggered, and this is second, so we can say 2 wins so far at this point. All right, so let's play. Let's see how price reacts to the daily level. I want to see a break and close below, a reject and a retest rejection off that level, and then alrighty. Asian session, so definitely I'm not jumping into a trade yet. Just look at that. Gotta wait for London, guys. Just look at that. That was literally, I think I can almost say this has got to be a news event that would have caused price to move in the way that it literally just moved right now. That was about, let's see, how many pips was that? 91 pips. It has to be a news event to give it that type of crazy week. And let's continue to see rejection above, below. Jesus, London is here, and London is going crazy. Literally, we have had no trade so far, basically because price action literally did not give us any trade. Look at that, rejection, and then above here now we're having strong candles, but it's too late to get into a buy or sell. We need to sit this one out and just wait for price to finish doing its thing, and then we can get our own trade. So another quick tip is, let me tell you guys this one, right? I use one of the, I don't use indicators for trading, but I use one that allows me to tell what session we are in, and if it's the Asian session, daily session, London session, or New York session, and also one that shows me where the daily open is and the weekly open is. And the essence of me saying all of this is that I've realized that oftentimes when price opens at a certain level, at a certain session, either during London or New York, price always go back to that daily price open to maybe seek liquidity or whatever, and then react to that level by continuing the direction it was continuing in, or close above that level and start to move in the opposite direction, if you get what I mean. So let me give this example. Let's say that right here is our daily open, right? And we have price trading all the way up to this point during Asia. By London, there's a possibility that price will come back to this level and then continue to go in the way it was going in before, or during New York, whatever. But if it doesn't do that, it also means that there's possibility for price to break below that level, come back to retest it, and then go the way the opposite way, right? The opposite way of the open. That's what I mean. For example, look at this right here. This is the weekly open right here. Let me show you guys the indicator in case you're wondering. It's the Sonar Lab sessions, and this is my settings. You can go ahead and screenshot it if you need to. All right, and I guess that's pretty much it right there for my settings. So that's another free tip for you guys. You can use that, add it to your conference in taking trades. Do not use it as a standalone strategy. I would never ask you to use any principle as a standalone trading strategy, but it's a very good weapon for your trading arsenal. uh Moving on, let's see, what do we have here? We literally have no trades. We missed our entry here. We can't get in here. It's too close to a support level. Below here, maybe we can take sales towards okay, the daily open. Let's see. I'm not going to take trades. Let's just see how price is going to react to that daily open right there. If price goes all the way there, so this is New York. See that? You see, immediately bounced off of it. Can you guys see that? Yeah, we're in New York now. You see what price did during Asia? Price opened here, traded all the way to the weekly open on during London, right? And then boom, New York came in, chased price all the way down to the daily open. Now see what happens. Let's see. Okay, let's see now. See that? See that? Yeah. Ah, not much happened. But see, not much happened during New York, apparently, because I mean, time was fast spent before it eventually returned to that level. But you saw how prices started to bounce off of it, and immediately the next day opened. See what it did. Try to continue in the direction of the way the previous day was moving. Let's see if it maintains that energy. I don't think so, though. Okay. All right, New York, I mean, Asia, gotta wait till London. Yeah, finally we have London. Now let's see if London is going to come back to that daily open price and then see it did, right? You guys saw that, right? It did always. And before it continued, so how it literally gave us that strong reaction to the downside. So that's a good maybe scalping trade for you people, for people who like to trade scalps. For that would be quick 20-30 pips scalping opportunity for you on the lower time frame. However, still so far no trade. Boy, I hate trading in the ranging market, guys. I literally hate trading. You can see that price has not been consistent in any direction so far. This is what Thursday. I no longer take trades on Thursday, but for the sake of this course, let's see if I will. Now we're below that weekly level I've talked about for so long. Look at that. Look at that, man. Just take a look at that. London retesting the open again, as always. You see that, yeah? You see that, yeah? Price would always go back to the open price. Oh, that feels weird. Price will always go back to the open price. All right, hold on. Okay, I think I'm seeing something, yeah? We can see how price, the trend is becoming clearer. However, it is still not consistent in its movements, right? Which is not always the best if you're using this type of strategy, except you want to swing trade. But if you're day trading, this is not always a great market condition. You need a condition where price is very consistent. For example, something like this, right? Things like this, they make sense. Things like this, they make sense. That is constant volume. I love that. But things like this, back and forth, lots of weeks, I don't enjoy trading in such conditions. But I mean, we do not control this particular factor, so we just have to wait. This is Friday. Oh, hold on. What day is this? So it's Monday. It's a new week. Oh Jesus, I missed. So for the previous week, it had two trades, two wins, and no losses incurred. So I'm going to drop to the weekly time frame to start my analysis afresh. Oh, she pays my weapon. First it was fragrance, then it turned to fire. We can see that price has now broken out of that range that we found in the previous week, so I'm going to mark that out. And actually it's something that trading view does now, right? I find it very annoying. Literally it's showing us the candle for the week, for the present week we're about to analyze for already, which is somehow I mean, it's like we've seen what's going to happen already, so why are we backtesting? Yeah, but I mean, we're still going to keep up, do the same things we always do. We're going to assume this candle is not here. Please just assume this candle is not here. All right. And remember that in the previous analysis, I had this level also marked out, right? Remember that. And look at that. Price literally just broke below that range and went straight for that, for the 272 pips that I mentioned in that while I was doing that analysis. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to actually adjust so that I'm picking exact levels that I like to pick. I like to pick it from body to week. That's how I do my analysis. I like to pick my stuff from body to week, except the week is too huge, like it's too wide, then I would ignore. I'll try not to pick up the entire body to week stuff. Right here, we're missing the body, so I'm going to adjust. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there. Why am I not picking this body to week instead? Only because it's standalone, but if I extend this to the left hand side, you see how valid this level is. That's exactly why I'm picking this one, not this one. I always want to pick levels where, I mean, it has price has reacted to in the past, and then it's going to make sense. So remember, we're assuming this particular candle is not here, and we only have this one. So we have price rejecting off this level. If price was to continue to go up, where is it going to head to? Likely towards this level, right? This level right here, because we have a lot of, price dumping towards this level. So, and of course, if you're day trading, right, between here and there is over 200 pips. That's good trade for a single day, and then you can come the other day if price continues to move up. But yeah, and price dumps, we know it's going towards this level. Now let's drop to the daily to validate our analysis and look for entries. All right, so now we have price clearly below. Oh Jesus, sorry, not clearly. Well, I've still forgotten that we're still ignoring and acting as though this present candle is not. This is a Monday, guys. We're still going back to what's it called now? The 4 hour time frame. What are we looking for on this level? Same thing. What has been happening? What is currently happening? And we're looking for structures. What is presently happening is price is now in a downtrend, as you can see, and is likely going to break below this level, retest this level, and then trade to the downside, or reject above this level, reject off this level, I mean, trade all the way up to this point, and we'll see how things go from there. I'm going to adjust this simply because it's just good aesthetics, not because it's necessary. All right, and since there are no necessary level to mark up other than this place right here, which I think it's going to make more sense on the lower time frame, so I'm not going to mark it up here. So on the 4 hour time frame, we don't have much happening here, just the downtrend I identified moving on. That's presently what's happening. What has been happening is price is moving in a downtrend, and the only reason we're going to see price go long is if it can break outside of this uptrend that we have going here, and of course break above this support level, reject of that level, and then we can assume that it's going to go continue to push to the top. Now, if price were to break below here and retest, reject, do all of those entry principles that we always have, where is it likely going to have the experience the first issue? I would say right here is a good place to take your first profit. All right, and if price were to continue to dump below that point, where will be the next price point? I would say right here as well, because we can literally see our price bounced off of that level in time past. And remember, I said it was going to make more sense in the lower time frame, and just look at that, makes more sense now. And below there, I don't think we're going to have any issues up until this point. So that gives us TP1, TP2, and TP3. We still can't drop to the 15-minute time frame because we are so far back in prime. I'm like backtesting from 2020. Trading View is not going to give us data review for below that price. Like, it's really annoying some way. Like, why the fuck am I paying? Yeah. So we're gonna drop down to the 1 hour time frame and see what's going on there. Apparently, we're still not going to take any trade until, I mean, it's still Asia. I don't trade Asia, and it's Monday already. I do not trade Asia except there's a major news, and it's not like at the opening of Asian session. No, it's well, anyways, that's not for this course really. Okay, so we have price breaking outside of that level now, but apparently we're not just going to jump into a sell just because price is not. Imagine price has literally dumped how many pips now? 80 plus pips during Asia alone. What do you think London is going to do? It's going to try to look for better entries for itself, and I would say that this area right here, price is likely going to experience some issues here. Why? Because I mean, in time past, it acted as support, right? So I'm gonna put this as a lower time frame zone. Like here, you see that support, 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 and briefly acted as support here. So we need to see price come back, retest this place, and then reject, or maybe come tap into the daily open and weekly liquidity before we jump into any trade. Let's just see. All right, price going right there, rejecting off that level, and then London opens. All right, now are we going to jump into a trade? This is where the lower time frame makes sense, but we don't have the lower time frame, so we just have to take the risk. I would say here again is where my sell stop would come in. I want to see price break below the previous mini support level right here. I mean, we see our price literally started to reject off this level, right? So I want to see price break below that price point, and then I put my stop loss around here only because we have a lot of rejections here, and if price wants to come to sweep, then yeah, literally my stop losses are usually way better than this if I pick them on the lower time frame, but we don't have that luxury, so our stop losses are going to be quite wide for these examples, which is really painful. It's not what I really wanted to do. I'm sorry, guys. TP1 doesn't really make a lot of sense here, but yeah, of course, nobody goes broke taking profit. I'll say take some profit, maybe 25%, but don't set to break even simply because of the RR. All right, and it's too close to where we entered. So let's see how this goes. All right, straight to profit right there. Good. Broken below. Now you can set to break even, and aiming for TP2. Oh yeah, I said we have TP3 right here, but at this point you should have closed over 50% because good trade. 167 pips is not small. It's not small movement, guys. So you want to ensure that you're closing majority of your trades at that point and holding the rest all to at break even right here. In fact, yeah, you should no longer be at break even. Your stop loss should like be around somewhere here just to protect your winning. All right. And let's see if we're gonna bank that. How many pips is it now? Boom, we did bank it. Jesus, jumping really hard now. So we got 246 pips using the simple strategy I've already talked about. Literally, guys, like I've said, if you're able to identify efficiently, you'll be able to properly identify the turning points in the market, you're going to make a lot of money. So we have taken like how many trades now? I believe this is either the third or the fourth one, and we have lost none, and we have made good peeps. And the average R out so far has been like 3 and 1 to 3 R out. For this one, we have 1 to 5, literally without doing too much. No complicated trading strategy, just looking for what has price been doing, what is it currently doing. If price goes up, where is it going to take? If price go down, where is it going to go to? Very simple stuff. It sounds too simple, it sounds too good to be true, and that's the point of um being taught by someone who's experienced in this, right? It's a simplified version of all of the things that I've learned in the last 5 years of me doing this consistently, and 4 years doing it full time, maybe 3 years professionally. I don't know, not like I'm certified for anything, but I try to realize when I started to trade like a business and profession in terms of discipline, risk management, diversifying, understand the market properly, and knowing that what moves price is not just these technical things. There's more to what moves price, which I discussed in my other course, the full trading course, and of course in more details in my private mentorship, the 6 figure blueprint, where I show guys how I can literally make 6 figures in profits monthly from trading the same thing that I just showed you guys. This particular example feels too long now, right? It feels like a crime. I don't know why, but I'm going to stop this right here. Maybe have you rewatch this as often time as you need, and then I'm going to record another one if I can, with more examples and more explanation to do. Hopefully I don't have to talk much in that one if the market condition is good. And then I'm just going to like keep trading and keep trading and trading, and it's going to make sense to you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.